Right, we're just minutes away from that big judgment in the IPL spot fixing and betting case. What will happen to Chennai Superkings, Rajasthan Royals, Gurunath Meiyappan and Raj Kundra? We'll find out in just minutes from now. But let's first update you what's likely outcome that we will see today. As we're learning here on NDTV, IPL teams will not be banned, as was being reported by mainstream media. But we found out that the teams will not be banned or terminated. That's because the Lodha committee cannot ban these IPL teams, because the purview of their investigation does not involve terminating the teams. At best, they can suspend or fine these two IPL teams. We'll soon find out whether it's suspension or fine or even both. So this is the big exclusive that we're getting you right here on NDTV 24/7. But let's also tell you what were the observations that were made by the Supreme Court before the three-member committee was set up, headed by at the moment. We'll tell you what was the findings of the Supreme Court. And firstly, it found out against N. Srinivasan was that BCCI cannot trivialize a high-power committee formed by Supreme Court. This was made clear by the Supreme Court while setting up the Justice Lodha committee. It also said that only suspicion of cover-up by Srinivasan, suspicion is not proof to hold him guilty. That's what they said, that N. Srinivasan is not guilty, something that was also established by the Mukul Mutkal panel. Joining us now is my colleague Rika Roy, live from the India Habitat Center. That's where the verdict will be announced. Rika, we've been reporting here of how the teams cannot be terminated. Can you throw some more light on that?
Well, Nikhil, I will put that question right across to our colleague, Mr. Vaidyanathan, who is here with me. Sir, what we do understand is that the quantum of punishment that can be delivered, the extent of punishment that can be delivered to both the teams is suspension and not termination. Is that correct?
Exactly. See, we have to wait at around 10 minutes to get to know exact details. But we have been told that suspension this panel can do. But the termination is concerned, it's up to the BCCI. So we'll have to wait for that. Most likely it may be a suspension for the team. They may even specify the time, but we have to wait and watch. But the termination is concerned, I was told probably the BCCI will have to do it, not the panel.
But isn't there a very thin line between termination and suspension?
It seems to be, but termination is for a lifetime. Even lifetime suspension literally means termination. Suspension maybe is, for example, next year, the season, they may suspend it. But for other two, there may be a ban also, because once the Supreme Court already found both are guilty as well as the franchises, only quantum has been referred to this panel. So apart from this, there is another issue, Sundararaman issue, what sort of punishment to be given to him, because he ignored whatever the warnings given to him but on this betting issue. But today it seems it may not be, it's still on, it's inconclusive.
Sir, what we are discussing is essentially hypothesis. So if they go on to suspend the Chennai Superkings and Rajasthan Royals, what will be the proceedings thereafter? Can they appeal to Justice Lodha?
As per the January 22nd judgment of the Supreme Court, all legal routes are allowed, which means they will have to go to the Supreme Court or they can go to the High Court, but no High Court will entertain because Supreme Court, this matter is pending here. So they will have to go back to Justice Thakur's bench to see. But once the Supreme Court in the last January judgment was very harsh on BCCI and others, so I don't think they will entertain any petition apart from accepting this panel's report as far as the BCCI restructuring is concerned.
So one final question I would like to ask you. We've seen a televised judgment in case of Oscar Pistorius, but never before in Indian legal history probably has a judgment been delivered this way. What do you make of all this?
Exactly. Not see Supreme Court judgment or High Court judgment so far not televised. Of course, there was a demand petition in the Supreme Court which rejected it. But this is Supreme Court panel. Yes, you are right. For the first time, it's being televised. But the problem here is if you televise live, so see the chaotic situation here. That's why it's better not to be televised live as far as the court's judgments are concerned.
Absolutely, Nikhil. The chaos right now here can only be experienced if you are here in the room. In a little bit from now, the three judges are going to come and sit on that podium and deliver that judgment that we've all been waiting for and building up to it.
All right, Rika, you keep a track of those developments there. We'll keep coming back to you. But